The new economic policy was an economic policy Lenin introduced to the Soviet Union in 1921 at the 10th Congress of the All-Russian Communist Party. This was a temporary policy Lenin implemented to increase agricultural and industrial production rate of the Russian state after the Russian Civil War. A bit of background on the new economic policy. The then ended Russian Civil War led to a lot of famine and economic destruction. A lot of people died, farming was disputed, and inflation grew. Lenin considered the new economic policy as a strategic retreat from socialism. He stated the new economic policy was capitalism, but a different sort from what happens in democracy. This stage of capitalism was described by Lenin as state capitalism, the last stage of capitalism before socialism evolved. The NEP was a plan of Lenin in which he wanted to make a market based economy which would be subject to state control. Socialist businesses would operate on a profit basis. This means that there would be private businesses, but not as it was in capitalism. Small and medium scale businesses would be controlled by individuals, while larger means of production such as foreign trade, banks, and factories would be operated by the state. Lenin believed that the introduction of modernization of industrial development was necessary for a smooth transition from capitalism to communism in a post-capitalist state. Marx stated that the state had to be mature in terms of capitalism so socialism can be implemented. Lenin's important quote was, "The people will require time to get used to a selfless way of life in Marxism," since he believed a direct transition from capitalism to communism would lead to oppression of the working class. Throughout its thorough implementation for 4 years or so, the NEP seemed to stabilize the Russian economy. Gregory Zinoviev and Lev Kamenev were strong supporters of the new economic policy. However, Stalin would get rid of those policies and make a more authoritarianist government after 1924. However, in general, the new economic policy did its role by increasing agricultural and industrial output. Farmers were even allowed to exchange grain for monetary compensation through its implementation. This helped in improving the Soviet economy after World War I. However, Stalin repealed the new economic policy by 1928 and restored industrial and agricultural production to the level it was in 1930.